Enzo, you're taking Austin Reeves. So I think the Lakers' top three guys are just better, and I think that could be enough to make the case. Where I think it gets really interesting is the Timberwolves' greatest strength on defense is their combination of perimeter defenders and Rudy Gobert at the rim, and the Lakers can neutralize that. Unfortunately, as we saw in the Western Conference Finals last year, the best perimeter defender on Minnesota, Jaden McDaniels, can't guard Luka. He's too skinny. Luka can just throw him around like a rag doll. None of the perimeter defenders on Minnesota make Luka uncomfortable. And the Lakers, with their 5-out groups with Dorian Finney-Smith instead of Jackson Hayes, they can space Rudy out to where he cannot protect the rim without conceding a wide open three. When Rudy's on the perimeter, he's still a good defender, but he's not the transcendently impactful defender he is when he can sit right underneath the basket. So I think they neutralize him there. On the other end of the floor, the Lakers have struggled against spread out shooting, like against Boston, and really smart teams with speed, like Golden State. Those are the teams that have really caused the Lakers issues post-Luka trade. You know who the Lakers have not struggled with post-Luka trade defensively? The teams that they can load up on. You can load up on the Timberwolves. They are not a good spot-up team. They are a team that you can put two on the ball with Ant and not get burned with high-level playmaking. It's just, I look at this as a series where just all of the strengths and weaknesses line up in a way to where I think the Lakers just have a big advantage. This was one of the few series that I picked in 5 games. I think the Lakers are going to beat them in 5.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And the Lakers, I could be wrong on this. I think they play as good a defense as they need to. I think that when I watch them play, there are times I'm like, oh, this is one of those games they really care about. And then there are other times I'm like, they're just not talking. This is one of those. They either all went out and had a nice dinner last night and a bottle of vino. They're just not. That when I watch them, I think they're as good as they want to be defensively. I don't think they're great. But like Denver's got limitations. There's just things. I mean, Jokic, there's just limitations. I think the Lakers actually have some pretty good length and defensive personnel outside of Luka. I think they'll play good defense in the playoffs because they'll want to. They're a want team. When they want to, I think they're pretty capable.
Yeah, and when you're as good offensively as they've been with their best groups, and by the way, that group with Dorian Finney-Smith and Rui next to LeBron, Luka, and Austin has been torching everybody for a long time now. That unit can really score the ball. So they have some margin for error on that side of the floor. It really is about LeBron. LeBron, as like the orchestrator on the back line, he plays that Draymond Green-esque role, just telling everybody where to go, calling out the plays as they're starting to take shape. And then Jared Vanderbilt, Rui Hachimura, Dorian Finney-Smith. It's just a lot of 6'9", rangy athletes that can cover ground. I'm not going to lie, Colin, like the Lakers certainly have an uphill climb, and there are going to be multiple series where they'll be an underdog if they get to the 3rd and 4th round, but this could not have broken better for them than it did. Now you only have to play one of Denver, OKC, and the Clippers. Those are 3 of the most dangerous teams in the West. They only have to play one of them. So I think it actually broke really nicely for them here. If they can take care of business against the Timberwolves and beat whoever comes out of that Warriors-Rockets series, they're right there in the against OKC in the conference finals. I think they've got a really good chance.
It's funny when I look. So Denver takes on the Clippers, and the Clippers played very well down the stretch. And again, half the league's tanking, half are resting starters. I did think the winner for Golden State was impressive. I thought James Harden in overtime was great. I thought Kawhi being Kawhi. I mean, you never know when he's going to play, but when he does, he's got so many components that remind me of a little bit of a poor man Michael, Kobe, the hand size, this physical strength, despite not being a heavy player. He's a very unique player. I mean, 5 years ago, I thought he was a top 3 player in the league. I was like, he's a get a bucket, get a stop guy. And he, in the last couple of weeks, you're like, wow, he is back. And he's just a hard guy to get a read on him. That's why basically Pop just said, I'd rather not make the playoffs. I'm not going to deal with this. He's an enigma. They don't have, besides their starting center, Zubac, they don't have any size. I mean, their backup center's Ben Simmons. There's just nothing there. So Jokic is going to have a monster, just a monster series. And also, they're so bad when the Joker's not on the floor that he's going to play 40 minutes. Like, they just can't operate without him. This is weird. I thought Denver was going to be a dynasty. They're not. And I knew Malone would wear everybody out. He's not a Spoelstra occur. He's not the kind of part psychologist, part coach. He's a little bit of an old school, intense Barker. I want to play who I want to play. Battled with the GM. But I don't know if I buy the Clippers late season run. I don't know if I do. And I get the world's best basketball player. I don't trust Harden in big playoff spots. I know I'm supposed to take the Clippers, but I just can't see Jokic getting run out of the NBA playoffs in one round.
So the point you're making about the regular season results down the stretch is a really important one. It's really the middle tier that is going as hard as they can in this phase because
That's right.
The top tier teams are like, we're just trying to be healthy for our first round series. The bottom tier teams are, we just want Cooper Flag. The middle tier teams are all like, we do not want to be in the play-in. So we're going to go every single game. Like all of these teams, basically from the Lakers all the way down through the Suns, have been playing must-win basketball every single night since the trade deadline has passed. That's what happens when you have the play-in tournament in the mix. And so I do think there's something to be said about some of the fake results you could see at this point. The only thing that makes it a little more complicated with the Clippers is the Kawhi Leonard part. You are taking a team that was already a rock-solid basketball culture, anchored by James Harden, a very great floor-raising perimeter player in the NBA. Zubats has become one of the top 6 or 7 centers in the NBA. You have the elite perimeter defense talent of Derrick Jones Jr. and Chris Dunn. One of the craziest subplots of the year is them pivoting from Paul George, who averaged 23 points a game for them last year, and then being like, no, thank you, and taking 2 discounted perimeter athletes in Derrick Jones and Chris Dunn and basically getting a better roster out of it, which is just a huge credit to that organization and them just prioritizing the right things and the culture they're trying to build there. But you're adding to that a player in Kawhi Leonard that legitimately at this point is an apex superstar in this league. When he actually has his legs underneath him, the way he's had them late, the ability to get to his spots, the ability to get lift, he was going on Jimmy Butler and making it look easy, going against Draymond Green and making it look easy. He is at his peak as that type of get a stop, get a bucket type of guy right now. That is what changes the ceiling for me with this with the Clippers. I look at it pretty simply. They have 4 awesome offensive players. Zoo is like good for 20 points a game these days. Harden's good for 20 points a game. Powell's good for 20 points a game. And Kawhi Leonard on any given night can go toe-to-toe with the best superstars in the league. You surround that with a strong defensive foundation, elite perimeter defense for 48 minutes. Jamal Murray's going to have Derrick Jones and Chris Dunn all over him that entire series. Zoo even is one of the rare guys who's big and strong enough to kind of hang with Jokic a little bit. Jokic tried to post up Zubats 6 times this season, went 1 for 6 from the field. Now, I think he'll do a little better. He's too good to not figure that out. But him posting up Zoo is not the same as him posting up these other skinny centers that he posts around the league. It's a little bit harder for him to win the ground battle there. Really what caused me to pick the Clippers in this matchup was the defense for Denver, though.
Right.
Denver's